Let me introduce you to the Harris family. I first met them in 2012. Jane's a hardworking single-parent mother who has 2 children. But with that, she's working 2 jobs as well, so it's hard for her to be forever parent present with her children. Then there's Destiny. She plays mom, and no, I don't mean by having friends come over and playing house. I mean she plays mom. Then you have Isaiah. When I first met Isaiah, it's like, man, there's something about that kid and his smile. When he walks into the room, he's just very magnetic. Everyone just gravitates toward him. But Isaiah was struggling in school, and his teachers thought he had a learning disability. Sadly, this is a story of a lot of our families within our community in Minnesota, specifically Minneapolis. So that's where Urban Ventures comes in. Hello, everyone. My name is Marquise Dixon. I work at Urban Ventures, which is a community development organization in South Minneapolis. We focus on the 25-block core area. And within that, though, you think that we've been around for 25 years. That's a very long time, Marquise. But yet, even with a footprint that long in our community, a lot of our parents have grown up in poverty. And the data says that their children will likely remain poor too. So what is our response as an organization? What can we do to help surround these parents and these families? So our response as an organization is to pursue a city without poverty. It's a very audacious goal, right? Well, you also say, well, Marquise, let's talk about your graduation rates. And I would say, well, the city of Minneapolis graduation rate is 23% below the national average. If we were to take a microscope and go past the surface level, we also see the graduation rates for our Latino students 27% below the national average. And let's go deeper. African Americans are graduating at a rate 31% below the national average. Let that sink in for a little bit, as I sit up here as an African American male before you. So our approach is that we want to support the whole entire family. It's a holistic approach. We want to surround these families with high-quality academics as well as extracurriculars. If you don't mind, I would love to tell you about some of our youth programming. So in a way that we impact families through our arts, whether it be through music, audio engineering, artist expression and creation. We also have an amazing STEP program that we have as well. And through this, you might think STEP, well, that's awesome, but the students are learning so many more creative skills through the art form of STEP. We also have athletics, basketball and soccer, but it's not about the sports. We use sports to build relationships, and we change lives through those relationships. One of our newer programs is our Leadership Development and College Scholarship Program, where it takes homegrown leaders from the communities where we work in, where we're 23% below the national average for a high school graduation rate. We find these homegrown leaders, we provide them with intensive training, and then we send them off to 5 partner college institutions with full tuition, full need scholarships. Our minimum scholarship for 4 years will be $80,000. Depending on the student's financial situation, some of our scholarships exceed $190,000. But you know the best part about it is, the hope is that we can inspire these students to return back to their home communities and make them more vibrant places to live. That's the best part about that program. Then we have Summer Ventures, which is our sort of creative spin on summer programming, where we have students come in for different type of activities. Earlier I talked about our music and our STEP programs, but also it's a great viable option to help students not experience brain dump, which happens over the course of the summer where students are out of school. They come in, they're able to build positive attitudes, they're able to build confidence, they're able to learn how to work with each other in groups. And one of the awesome parts about it is it helps accommodate our parents' work schedules as well. So because we believe effectively serving the child means involving and engaging the family as well. So let me tell you a little bit how we engage the parents. Some of the ways that we do that, we have a 3-phase parenting curriculum that we put our parents through. The first one is going to focus on personal character development. The next phase is healthy relationships. And last but not least is focusing on parenting dynamics. It's an intensive project because these parents have to commit for 20 weeks to participate in this program. But the best part about that is not just when parents are putting on caps and gowns for the first time in their entire lives, it's the children that get to come and witness that. On your far right, you'll meet Alejandra, who came and was a part of our program. The best part about it was her children were able to be there to watch their parents. And they're quoted saying, if mom can do it, I can do it too. That's generational impact. Alejandro is one of our 1,500 families that comes to our programming throughout the year, which is absolutely amazing because they're coming to either an urban farm event. We have 2 urban greenhouses. They're coming to a basketball, soccer, or music clinic, or they're coming to some of our financial coaching workshops. But one of the things that we found is, one of the areas that we can improve is, yes, it's great getting 1,500 families through our doors, but how do we be intentional with all those families? So one of the things that we committed to doing is focusing on 150 deeper, intentional relationships with the families within our communities. Our approach to supporting whole families have empowered our communities. And let me tell you how. You remember those dismal high school graduation rates I told you about in the beginning? Well, I'm going to show you what's been happening within those high schools the past 5 years. What you'll see is that we've seen somewhere between a 22 and 30% graduation completion rate in our communities, which is awesome, which is magnificent. And while I would love to sit up here and say, yes, we played a large part in that, which I think we played a small part in that, it's the families committing to wanting to change that around. It's them valuing education. And for us, we get to take pride in providing an underlying network of support for those families. We believe that this isn't just possible in South Minneapolis and 4th and Lake. We believe this transformation in communities is possible across all communities, which is magnificent. Now, let's go back to the Harris family. I talked about Jane, I talked about Destiny, I talked about Isaiah. Jane is one of the parents that completed our 3-phase adult curriculum. And now she goes back every single Friday for our Friday morning book clubs. Destiny doesn't have to play mom anymore. She's instead focusing on her vocal lessons, and she's able to participate in our music program. Then let me tell you a little bit more about Isaiah. I remember the first time I picked Isaiah up for a one-to-one, and our conversations were around Dragon Ball Z and all the stuff that kids like these days. I had the opportunity to drop him off on his first day of 8th grade. I had the opportunity to drop him on his first day of 9th grade. I remember his sophomore year, he was like, Marquise, I'm gonna make the honor roll this year. I was like, great, good for you, let's do this. If you're committed to it, I will take you every single morning to academic support, and I did. There's a lot of breakfasts. But he went on to make the most improved list his sophomore year. Then he made the B honor roll his junior year. This past year, he made the A honor roll. I was able to sit down and watch him graduate high school and walk across the stage. The best part about that story is that he played football, and the most important phone calls I got one every year, was, Marquise, we're having our Men Who Moses dinner, and I want you to come represent me. So here I am, I'm coming, sitting here with this young man, no father, but he wants me to be there to represent him. I'm that male influence in his life. For us, we want our community to be reflected with these yard signs, which you're going to see, which might sound kind of real, but let me explain. We would love to see these sprout up all around our communities. So it could be just a little sign of what hope looks like for individuals in dark places. If we learn anything in our past 25 years, it's that it takes all of us to help bring about change. Will you help us pursue a city without poverty? Thank you.